Real quick before the video starts, I have a new channel based around green tech stories on 4chan, and I'll be uploading videos daily over there. If you're interested, I'll leave a link to the channel in the description. Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Random Dude in the True Off My Chest subreddit. The post is titled, "I found my GF of 8 years cheating sex tape. Her family, close friends, and cybercrime police are involved. Almost 3 weeks ago, a good friend of mine, Alex, and an acquaintance, Mike, got hold of a video of my girlfriend, Jamie, having sex with another man. Mike found this while browsing through porn sites with niche themes and, by chance, recognized Jamie. He got into contact with Alex about it, and both of them told me about the infidelity. When Alex and Mike told me about the infidelity, I was somewhere between shock and numb. I could not really say anything until I saw the video, where I proceeded to puke my guts out. I could not even sit through a minute of it. The fact that it was edited to go straight into the action with Jamie's face clearly visible did not help. We drove Mike home, and Alex had the good sense to force me to spend the night at his place rather than go home, where I share an apartment with Jamie with no idea how that would end. We shared some beers, mostly in silence. Alex did try to make me open up about what I felt regarding Jamie's infidelity, but I was just numb. I did not know what I felt and told him so. I felt like wading through water with no thought in mind other than what was in front of me. Alex did not push anymore, and I passed out sometime later. When I woke up, I recovered enough sense to realize that our relationship was most likely over. I went straight home using public transport, most likely brooding or looking pissed. I wonder what the other passengers thought when they saw me looking like shit while trying to emulate Batman. I got home and caught her getting ready to go out. She asked me where I was and why I did not contact her. I did not bother answering and just told her we needed to talk. We sat down facing each other at our kitchen table that we built from scratch on my grandfather's farm, and that random thought pretty much broke the dam. A lot of stuff happened, a lot of harsh words were said, accusations and blame. Too many details to describe, but essentially I immediately broke down in tears and asked her how the hell she could ruin this relationship we worked so hard on. She was confused and wanted an explanation. I dropped the bomb and showed her the video. She cried, begged for forgiveness, but I heard nothing. More crying and cursing until I told her that we were over. That was it, and she just shut off. She slumped down and closed her eyes, still crying, but said nothing. This took me out of anger, and I tried to figure out what she was doing. I talked to her, hard and gentle prodding, nothing. Absolutely unresponsive, so I just dragged her to our bed and laid her there. I went back to our kitchen and called her parents, Alice and Julio. I simply told them they needed to come and that their daughter was suffering a mental breakdown. I said nothing more than just telling them that they needed to see us and that what was happening needed to be face to face to explain. I shut my phone off, went back to the kitchen, and thought about what the hell just happened. Her parents rushed to our apartment demanding what the hell happened. I did not tell them about Jamie's infidelity, but just said she needed mental help. She was on the bed acting comatose, but otherwise okay. They could not bring her out of it, and eventually I had to explain. I did not want to do it without Jamie being able to explain herself. I showed them the video and they are heartbroken. I told them we had an argument. I did not hurt her, but she probably could not handle the stress and broke down. They decided to bring Jamie to her university's mental health clinic. I decided not to go with them. The next day, Jaime eventually woke up. She was stable and responsive. There, she said that the video was not consented. Her family decided to report this to cybercrime police. Jamie's family did not grill her with her mental state being the way it is, but her parents are obviously ashamed and are not sure what to do other than what the psychologist recommends, which is to let Jamie rest for a while and support her until they are sure she does not implode. Then she was sent home to her parents. This was all relayed to me by her older sister, Jackie, who was trying to be the mediator. She asked me if I really was going to end the relationship. I responded that I am not sure if we can even salvage it. 2 days later, Yummy's parents asked me to visit them for a talk. I agreed and went the next day. Jamie's parents and her older sister were present. We went to their living room and sat down. They looked sad and tired, and I felt the same. Jaime would be the last topic of our talk. First was me. They wanted my parents to be involved. I felt disrespected as we are already adults, and my father and I are tense, but I relented as I was already tired and a bit out of my depth. Marriage had been discussed in the past, after all. Finally, we talked about Jamie. She is stuck in her room, miserable and ashamed, but otherwise okay. She will stay with her parents for now. When she is needed by the police, she can stay with Jackie in a hotel. They understood that I needed space. They have submitted a report to our cities. They live 1 to 2 hours away in the suburbs cybercrime office. I am needed for the investigation. I explained that I was not the one who found the video, but said I would try to get Mike involved. They apologized for Jamie, but I told them she was the one who needed to apologize and that they shouldn't baby her. They agreed, but begged me not to argue right now since Jamie may relapse. They explained her psychologist's assessment: a spontaneous nervous breakdown, no history of mental illness, concluded to be caused by accumulated stress from her studies and an acute stress reaction from our argument. She needs rest in a safe environment. The psychologist almost called the police on me, but they convinced them not to, and with no physical trauma observed, they gave up. The discussion devolved into apologizing and tears from Alice especially, along with other noise. But they did want to take charge of everything: the investigation, Jaime's well-being, her education and finances, etc. I was kind of washed out from everything. 8 days later, Alice called me in the middle of the night, begging me to see Jaime. She was having a depressive episode, locked in the bathroom yelling for me, holding a kitchen knife. It was the worst hour of my life. I'm pretty sure I almost died twice on the road, and I'm glad my country isn't developed enough for highway cameras. I met Alice and Jackie outside the house waiting for me. Jaime had mostly calmed down, and Julio was with her in her room. They begged me to go see her, and with how bad the situation looked, I rushed to Jamie. She was a wreck, looked like her blood had been drained, and she hadn't slept for a while. She started crying the moment she saw me and reached out her arms. Whatever anger, exhaustion, and anxiety I felt melted away, and I embraced her. She kept apologizing and begging for me to stay. I shushed her and held her tight. She eventually went to sleep, and I took a moment to think about what was happening. I genuinely felt heartbroken seeing her like this. This is not how I thought things would be between us in the future, much less this Christmas. I am losing my best friend and would have been partner for life. This was the person who helped me through my depression when even my own family dismissed it. She is even the one who made me keep journals to help process what I go through. It is actually ironic how she is the reason I can write down details about her affair and how badly it affected me. She is not evil. She is a beautiful, patient, and overall wonderful human being. Thinking of all the stuff we've been through, what we've done for each other, if I were to list it all, it would probably reach twice the word count of my post. I love her and was prepared to be with her for life and face everything that came with it, and she destroyed that. I woke up before her and went to the kitchen for coffee. Jackie was there and explained that she had episodes twice before, and this was the worst yet. All of us except Jaime talked about what to do. Alice is in chemo for breast cancer, Julio runs a business 20 minutes away, Jackie's workplace is already hounding her, and Jamie needs help. The situation is fucked and everyone is exhausted. Jamie needs therapy. I implied a mental institution and that almost got my head torn off, but no one can look after her 24/7. They asked me to reschedule the inevitable and try to help her. There was definitely some emotional manipulation, but they are desperate. Due to my obvious lingering attachment and my own respect and love for these people, I agreed. This is where I fucked up. I went home, talked to Mike about the investigation, and he agreed to talk to the police. I called Alex and explained all the bullshit happening. He warned me that this did not sound like the right call, that a mental institution was probably the best, and I was just going to get hurt. Regardless, he would still stand by my decision and told me to call when I needed him. I love this guy. I have already scheduled a consultation for therapy, and Jamie will have a different one scheduled 3 days from now in my city. I just want to take a really long nap and get away from all this. Update. So it has been over 2 weeks since my last post where I proceeded to get my ass handed to me. I am not complaining, you guys were right. I do need to leave and start living my own life. A lot has actually happened since then, but thankfully, most of it is boring, sad, and disappointing. I got myself a behavioral therapist, which is something I should have done a long time ago. I have different problems unrelated to this that Jamie did help me through mostly, but a professional really does make a difference. They gave me a lot of hard questions, important questions that forced me to put my life into perspective. It was a liberating experience. I finally talked with my own family about this. For context, I am not very close with my actual parents, particularly with my father. Broken home and all that. I consider my aunts, my father's 4 sisters, who stepped up to take care of me as a child, to be my real parents. So if I mention family, I really mean just my 4 moms. It turns out they were more involved than I thought. Jaime talks to them. She loved talking with them about me and our relationship, and they got closer for it too. She asked so many questions about me, what I liked, food, hobbies, what my childhood was like. She would ask advice from them about so many things, what to do when I get pissy, how to get my ass moving, all that cute stuff. Around a year ago, when they noticed that I started acting positively when they played around with the topic of marriage, Jaime and my family started to get ready. 3 of them have families with at least 3 children each, so to help ease the accommodation, they saved money to pay for themselves, and anything extra would go to the wedding, to us, and whatever after. They even talked about engagement rings. Calling them disappointed is an understatement. With the bullshit happening now, they opted to give me half of what they saved for the marriage to help me out, and also offered to take me back again, which truly is a massive help. My biggest problem this whole time was a source of income. I did not have a job lined up out of my city, still do not, and my savings are meager. With all that settled, I gave my employer my resignation letter, canceled my lease, and have until the end of the month to sort my affairs. I am leaving for good. As for Jamie, I have gradually stepped out of whatever has been happening with her and around her. I talked with her family, or more like told them that I am leaving. I gave them information about psychiatric hold and made them handle her appointments with her psychologist and whatever else she needs. It was a sad affair, really. I know it does not seem like it, especially with Alice and Julio making me stay and take care of Jaime, but this is a first time for all of us. They raised 4 great kids, their relationships are great, and they even extended that to me even when they barely knew me. Jamie fucked up the worst, and this is not something anyone can expect anyone else to handle with ease and grace. I mourn my loss of a potential family that I could have been proud to be with. For the piece of shit who filmed her, I still have not confronted her about it, but Mike and Jackie shared what she told the police and how the investigation is going. It was a Korean national she says she met on social media for a fling. She said they only had sex once, but that was immediately shot down. The video showed 2 different distinct rooms, and she was pressured to admit where it was in case they could get anything like CCTV, social media posts, logbooks, witnesses, etc., and they did. 1 hotel still had recordings that day, 2 hotels had logbooks containing names and dates and their direct messages. She did not mention rape, blackmail, or drugs being involved, only mild intoxication, which was all obvious in the video apparently. Everything but the recording was consented. There were some possible routes to take in terms of damages, but when a lawyer got contacted, it was pretty much dead in the water. The piece of shit being a Korean national currently in Korea muddied the legal waters. They could do nothing else other than contact relevant Korean authorities, gather as much evidence, and wait. But the lawyer was not confident anything might stick. As far as they know, they have no evidence that it was even the piece of shit who set up the cameras, beyond that the piece of shit stayed the night before, and the cameras are obviously long since gone. There are far too many angles the piece of shit can play to delay or even win any lawsuit that reaches him. It will most likely be expensive, drawn out, and with very little chance of winning. So they gave up that route. The piece of shit is getting off scot-free. Why did Jamie do it? I do not know. Before, I did not have the guts to ask her. Now it does not really matter. I am not as exhausted as before, and my mind has been clearer. I am leaving for good regardless of why she did it. I can just walk straight out with no explanation, or maybe leave a letter for her, thanking her for the wonderful time we spent together, the love we shared, and a final goodbye. I am romantic like that. Still, I have decided to handle this with as much grace as I can. I will help when worst comes to worst, not lay blame on myself or her family, and not even mount pressure on Jaime for ruining everything. Not for Jamie, but for my own twisted sense of self-gratification that I did all that can be expected and more. I will leave with my back straight and nose held high. Funnily enough, this did eventually show me how lucky I am despite everything. Yes, the love of my life cheated on me and had the audacity to throw a tantrum over it. My future is looking a little bleak. I have found out so much repressed anxiety and anger from my shitty childhood, but I am still doing pretty great. I have family that loves me, friends that have my back, and despite her betrayal, she brought the best out of me with wonderful memories along with it. I have nothing to be ashamed of, and I can say with pride that I was a wonderful boyfriend. Hopefully, this will be my last update. If not, the next will be far more boring and less mouthy. Prancing Red Pony said, "It is good that he gave up trying to understand why she did it. This level of self-sabotage could mean she does not even know. Some people just are like that. They cannot be happy, and when life does not throw that curveball, they do it themselves. It is better to let it go and refocus on the more important part. Heal and move on, leaving her behind so the ghost of what she did does not poison his future relationships." Spicy Banana Ketchup said, "The affair partner being a Korean national makes sense. This crime is known in Korea as molka, which basically means hidden camera, where sexual encounters are filmed without knowledge or consent. It has been a big problem in Korea for years now, and even the biggest scandal in the K-pop industry involves similar crimes." The second story was made in the Entitled People subreddit by a user named Savvy Maverick. The post is titled, "My neighbor's daughter just told me I need to park in my driveway again. I either do not encounter many entitled people in my day, or I am really good at ignoring people, but this one just took the cake. So I am 40 years old and just got my driveway replaced 2 days ago. Asphalt, not concrete. The contractor told me I could park my car on it again after 3 days. Google said 7 to 10. As much money as I spent on it, I decided to listen to Google. I live on a 2-way yet 1 driving lane street. On my side, all the houses are street level and have driveways, while the houses across the street are on a bit of a hill with steps leading up to them. The only street parking is on my side. Their side has an alleyway or service road behind them where those owners could park. A lot of them choose not to. They would rather park in front of our houses. Not a big deal. I do not own the street and do not care who parks there as long as they are not blocking me in. There are 2 spots, sedan-sized, between every driveway. I have been parking on the street in front of my own house for these 2 days now and plan to stay there for at least another 5. I did not park in the middle so that no other car could also park because I am not an asshole. One of my across the street neighbors has a daughter who is home from college. 19 maybe, I do not know. What I do know is she drives an SUV that is entirely too big and will not fit in front of my car without partially blocking the driveway of the neighbor next to me. I was outside this morning watering my flowers, minding my damn business, and this girl came over unannounced and uninvited. The conversation went like this, entitled neighbor, "Hey, when are you moving your car?" Me, "Excuse me," entitled neighbor, "My truck cannot fit with your car there." Me, looks over to my driveway that is clearly still roped off with the yellow caution tape. "I just got my driveway done." Entitled neighbor, "Yeah, I see that, but it looks dry to me. My dad said asphalt does not take as long as concrete." Me, smiles and goes back to watering. Entitled neighbor, "You can park your car on it now." Me, takes a deep breath, clearly annoyed. Drying and curing are not exactly the same. I will not be parking on it for another few days. Entitled neighbor, "No, you need to do it now. There is nowhere else for me to park. What am I supposed to do?" This is where my eye started to twitch because not this little girl telling me what I need to do. Me, through clenched teeth, "What about your service road?" Entitled neighbor, "My parents park back there. There is no room." Me, "Well, I do not know what to tell you. I wish you an ounce of luck." Poor child turned a few shades of red and stomped back across the street. I am not one of those older millennials who thinks Generation Z are all entitled babies, but what the hell was that? And in case you're wondering, I work from home, did all my grocery shopping and errand running a few days ago. I have no plans on leaving the house or my spot again, at least until Wednesday. She will just have to suffer. Edit. Sorry if the formatting is off, I typed this on my phone. Update. Wow, okay, so I did not expect as many comments as I got. I also had no plans on doing any updates because I did not think there would be one. First, just to address a couple of things that came up constantly in the comments. Why do you not park blocking your own driveway so she can fit? I considered doing this the day the work was done, but not because of her. She nor her spaceship ever crossed my mind. I was going to do it so that no one could attempt to use my driveway to do a 3-point turn, but I decided not to. Not to be vindictive, I just simply did not think it was necessary. I genuinely did not see an issue with me parking on the street. Also, despite the arguing in the comments, in Pennsylvania, blocking a driveway, even your own, is illegal. I live in a suburb where the police department has nothing better to do than just drive around. I do not actually believe they would enforce it or ticket me for it though unless they were truly bored. However, after that exchange, I was not going to do a single damn thing to accommodate her. If that makes me the entitled one, then I will be that. Taking up one space in front of my own house seems, I do not know, perfectly reasonable. You can park on it now. Google is being over the top. I actually agree. 7 to 10 days is a little outlandish. However, my concern is my car sitting there for prolonged periods. If I were leaving every day for 8+ hours, I would be more inclined to start parking on it now. However, I really do not leave often for more than maybe 2 hours at a time, a couple of days a week. My car is a 2018 model and only has 24,000 miles on it. I'm a homebody for real. Also, my driveway previously was crumbling but also sinking in exactly where my tires lined up. Coincidence? I think not. I hope you have cameras. She's going to vandalize your car. I do have cameras, in plain view. I also have a motion detection dash cam, but I am not too concerned about that. Like I said, it's a 7-year-old car that has been paid off for 2 years. If she is dumb enough, she will have to buy me a new one. That's on her. Also, her father is pretty high on our district's school board. I do not think he would take too kindly to his daughter tanking his reputation over something so trivial. Lastly, thank you to everyone for all of the petty suggestions. I got a laugh out of those. I will not be buying a clunker to sit in front of my house until the dawn of time, but I appreciate the dedication. I hope that context helped because the update is not juicy at all. Earlier today, Sunday, I was outside on a video call with another contractor showing them my fence that needs to be replaced. My neighbor, the father, was also outside doing yard work. He waved and I gave him a polite smile and continued with my conversation. When he saw that I had hung up, he waved again to get my attention and came across the street. He started by asking me my version of events yesterday and I told him. He kind of looked mortified and just shook his head and mumbled, "That's her mother." He then proceeded to tell me how his daughter got all of his good traits and all of his wife's bad ones. I do not know what that meant and did not really care. I will say that I have owned my house for 9 years and have never once had a single interaction with the wife, only with him. She has never acknowledged me and I am okay with that. He also cleared up a few things. She is 21, not 19. Not that it matters, I just got that wrong. The Suburban she is driving is not hers. If you live anywhere in Pennsylvania, you know we have had some pretty destructive storms over the last couple of months. Well, one of them claimed the daughter's normal-sized Hyundai by dropping a tree on it. She is renting the Suburban because she is going on a 6-week road trip with friends to California. Not the most fuel-efficient choice, but okay. The important part is she leaves next Saturday. He never sent her over here to say anything to me and did not tell her about asphalt drying time with the intention of her bringing it up to me. Apparently, he was just making small talk about the work that was done because he was home that day and she was not. She brought up that I was not in my driveway and he told her why. He apologized and said he would have her do the same. I told him that was not necessary. He is now parking in front of my house, so she has room for her school bus behind their house. That is it. She is leaving on Saturday, and while I am not leaving my car on the street until Christmas, I am still leaving it there until Wednesday. Complete Entry said, "The petty squad showed up big time in that thread, both the fun kind and the unpleasantly petty kind. I have great neighbors right now, but where I previously lived, everyone was hostile and looking for an argument. It was easier to just say hi and bye than actually get to know them." Condlish said, "For what it is worth, my 16-year-old got rear-ended and the other driver's insurance covered a rental for a while. Had he been 18, our state law would have let him drive it. As it was, we had to shuffle who was driving what. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, Gamersupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.